Looking to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Karaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980 8483 340 9400 or 635 9906.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151, or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
coordinator of the National Social Protection Program, and all the partners in the Social Protection Program here present with us. Let me first of all thank you all for coming. I know it is not easy to have a gathering like this. The attendance really is very impressive, which is an indication of the interest that you have in social protection as a mechanism to ensure sustained development, sustained economic growth, and sustainable development. Your Excellency, let me thank you for coming to grace the occasion. Your presence here today really demonstrates government's commitment in addressing the plight of the very vulnerable groups in our society. I thank you. And I would also want to thank the donor partners who are here with us today, this morning, to grace this occasion. Your presence shows the level of commitment and interest that you have in addressing poverty and related issues in the Gambia. Today, we are here gathered to discuss progress and take stock of progress made in the implementation of the National Social Protection Program, and also share experiences and best practices in the area of social protection, particularly around the theme Social Protection, a Mechanism for Inclusive Development. This forum indeed is an opportunity for us to learn from each other and share our best practices, and also forge partnerships where they don't exist, and strengthen partnerships where they do exist. We are also here to ensure that there is complementarity in our various interventions, social protection interventions, and with that, we can also ensure synergy in the implementation of the social protection program. It's a very wide area, and the stakeholders are too many, and the stake is also very high. Today, our discussion, indeed, I have this belief, that it will bear fruit. It will lead us to a call for action, a national action plan that would help in addressing all social protection programs in the Gambia. With that, without much ado, I would now want to call upon the governor of West Coast region. As tradition dictates, the alcalo of a village or a settlement, should always be given the opportunity to welcome visitors. So here we are in West Coast, and we have in our midst the governor of West Coast in the person of Mr. Lamin Sane.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Your Excellency, Vice President of Gambia, Dr. Asadu Toure, Permanent Secretaries, the Permanent Secretary present here this morning, the UN Resident Coordinator in the Gambia, UNICEF Country Representative and WFP, Mr. Alabara, National Project Coordinator, my colleagues, civil governors, National Assembly Select Committee on Health and Women Affairs, heads of institutions, all distinguished high-profile dignitaries present here this morning. We are gathered here this morning to witness a very important inclusive forum meant to bring about ideas for the way forward towards national development. As the host governor to this event, I am full of gratitude to be given this opportunity to make the welcome remark on this event, which really is very apt. As the theme implies, social protection, a mechanism for inclusive development, resonates well with the country's national development strategies. Since the establishment of this unit, under the office of the Vice President, a lot of support has been rendered to all the communities in the Gambia. thus improving the life and livelihood of the citizens, especially women and children. Mr. Chairman, it is worth to mention that during the wave of COVID-19 in the Gambia, a lot of support was given to the people through social protection schemes. Some foodstuffs were distributed across the country alongside quarterly cash transfers to support vulnerable families. We are grateful to the government of the Gambia and our partners like UNICEF, WFP, and others. That support has added value towards the upkeep of families whose earning capacities were ruined. This two-day forum is very significant as it has brought in all partners and stakeholders to come together for an all-inclusive dialogue that will bring about tangible ideas in our quest to build a better future for the country, especially on children and women issues. The homegrown school feeding program is also not an exception to this event. I must thank the Office of Vice President, Her Excellency the Vice President in particular, for her exemplary role in steering the National Social Protection Secretariat through her permanent secretary and other teams of experts in her office. We are really grateful, and as regional administrators, we are very ready to work closely with your office to realize the goals and objectives of the Secretariat. It is part of government's blueprint, which is the National Development Plan. We are appreciative of our partnership we are building with your office and everybody. With those few remarks, I wish to welcome all of you to this great event. May God bless the Gambia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Governor, for those reassuring words. They say it takes two to tangle, but for the social protection program, it takes many to tangle. We need stakeholders, particularly those at the grassroots, to ensure that the program is effectively implemented. And indeed, the governor has given us the assurance that they'll be there for us anytime we need them. With those words, I now invite the National Coordinator of the National Social Protection Program, Mr. Alai Bara, to give us an overview of the social protection in the Gambia, achievements and challenges ahead. Mr. Bara, you have the floor.
The Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, the representatives of the National Assembly, representatives of the Office of the President, permanent secretaries and deputy permanent secretaries here present, the UN resident coordinator and the UN family, the World Bank, development partners here present, regional authorities, all protocols respectively and duly observed. I am pleased on behalf of the National Social Protection Secretariat to have this opportunity to be part of this important event, which is the beginning of another phase of collaborative efforts among partners in enhancing social protection efforts in the Gambia. The forum will provide participants with an opportunity to share experiences, learn new strategies, and deliberate on ways of achieving common approach in social protection. I am optimistic that all the sessions of the forum will be interactive and that delegates will be able to engage and share experiences that will go a long way in informing future programs in our respective ministries, agencies, and departments. Dignified members of this forum, the level of participation in this forum clearly demonstrates the overwhelming desire and commitment that we have accorded to the issues of social protection and issues that affect individuals, families, and communities. I therefore applaud and encourage the collaborative consultation between ourselves as we move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, this forum will serve two fundamental purposes, of which we should not lose sight of. Being the first of its kind since the establishment of the National Social Protection Secretariat, the forum is expected to give us possibilities towards achieving a united approach to safeguard, regulate, and coordinate social protection efforts in the Gambia. As a secretariat, which is mandated to lead and coordinate social protection efforts in the country, through our support to the National Steering Committee for Social Protection, which is the apex body for social protection issues, chaired by the Office of the Vice President, NSPS is really glad and happy to hold this forum in order to bring all the social protection actors on a platform to discuss social protection issues and forge a united way or united approach to our social protection problems or issues that we have. The platform like this can offer excellent opportunities for inter-ministerial learning on the best practices towards achieving our common coordination efforts for social protection in the country. Moreover, today's convergence envisages to recognize the attainment of recommendations and call for action that will be looked into to look forward to an appropriate social protection system building and service delivery. I would like to take this opportunity to shed light on some of the key issues that the social protection sector has achieved, especially with regards to the coordination. Since the establishment of the Secretariat has spearheaded the social protection pillar of the national response strategy to the COVID-19. During these heights of COVID-19, the Secretariat was able to bring together all the sectors to develop a strategy that is going to be part of the national strategy for COVID response. We are also able to hold weekly meetings to engage all stakeholders and implementing partners to share ideas, challenges, and success stories in the delivery of social protection programs. As the mandate of the government to create an enable environment for social protection systems, the Secretariat enjoyed the support of the government and partners in establishing the social registry. The social registry is a database, a comprehensive database that will contain demographic and socio-economic information of people, and it is expected to consolidate all this into a single database. It will provide information for our social protection programs with regards to the identification of beneficiaries. And it is envisaged that it is going to make our social protection programs more SOX responsive. The fact that the identification of beneficiaries of different schemes would be addressed through a simple click of the button, we can be able to identify and give programs the list of their beneficiaries. In order to also bring efficiency into the system, the National Grievance Redress Mechanism is under development. This is to address issues, complaints regarding our social protection programs. This system will allow the Secretariat and the government and development partners to make sure that the complaints regarding the implementation of their programs are being addressed through the GRM system that will register all complaints and refer to the program implementers. I am glad to see that an operational manual for this system has been established. We have a toll-free number that anyone who have a concern about a particular program can call, and the issue will be addressed. This is important to reduce the issue of social tensions whilst we are implementing our programs, and it will also bring efficiency and effectiveness and a feedback mechanism with regards to our programs that we are delivering. The Secretariat, with the support of the Office of the Vice President, within these few years, or I would say only 1 year, we were able to staff adequately the manpower needs or human resource needs of the Secretariat. Though we have a long way to go in terms of the capacity, just like any other social protection sector. But with the capacity building program that we are also conducting, or we are also developing with the support from the EU, support to the National Social Protection Policy, we hope that this will also address the issues that we have with regards to capacity. The National Monitoring Framework for Social Protection is also on top of the priorities of the Secretariat, and we are in the process of developing one, as it is part of the annual work plan, and already a support has been earmarked for this through the World Bank support to the Secretariat as part of the Social Safety Net project. The Secretariat is also developing an information system that would allow publicity of social protection programs and allow us to share knowledge. As far as the registry is concerned, the data has been collected in 30 districts. We are now working on the 6 districts in the North Bank region, and hopefully we will extend this if we are able to get enough resources to cover the whole country, because it's supposed to be a country comprehensive database for the whole country. The development of the financing strategy is also underway to make sure that there is a sustainable financing in the medium term for social protection in the country. We all know that COVID-19 has taught us a lot of lessons, especially in the fiscal front. We have seen that it has created fiscal risk with regards to our fiscal projections, because there were no much provisions, especially for countries, underdeveloped countries, countries that have a weak social protection system. it has caused a risk because there has to be a U-turn with regards to the financing of the needs, the new financing requirements. That has been the reality during the COVID-19 pandemic hikes. And we still, as a secretariat, and through the Office of the Vice President and Minister of Finance, hope that we will be able to develop a financing strategy that will be government-led, because social protection cannot be sustainably addressed by our development partners. Government must take a lead. And to do this, there must be some fiscal measures that government would need to develop to make sure that social protection is well catered for and financed in our government covers. With all these steps taken, we still, as a sector, have a challenge. And we hope that together we can address these challenges. If not all, but at least the most important ones can be addressed in the short term, and in the long term, we'll be able to make sure that those challenges are addressed to the minimum. COVID-19 still remains a challenge for the Secretariat and for the partners. And we hope that collectively we will be looking into post-COVID-19 challenges too, whilst we are addressing the immediate challenges posed by COVID-19. The financing of the social protection sector is still a challenge. Whilst we have coordination issues with regards to the implementation of the programs, yet we also have the financing. But through harmonization of our programs, through collaborative efforts, we'll be able to bring efficiency, reduce the cost of delivery of social protection program, and increase either coverage or direct benefits. And this is what the Social Protection Secretariat is looking forward to. At this juncture, I wholeheartedly thank all those involved in the planning of this forum. My sincere appreciation goes to Her Excellency and the Office of the Vice President for taking the lead through their strategic guidance. We thank you. I would also like to thank our donor partners for being there for us, not only the Secretariat, but also we are aware that you are supporting social protection sector, which as a coordinating body, we are really appreciative of. And we encourage you to continue supporting the efforts in the social protection. Going forward, a detailed presentation will be made to display the coordination functions of the Secretariat during the workshop, and we hope that all the thematic areas that are going to be looked into during these breakout sessions would help us look at what our achievements are, our challenges, and also the way we can move forward. Finally, I would like to implore on all of you, all the stakeholders, here and outside, to put hands together to achieve our common desired outcome of the social protection policy and our strategies. on this note, I would like to thank you very much for coming to join us in this event. And I look forward to your participation to make it more and more effective. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bara, for that overview, which clearly spells out the mandate of the Secretariat and what we have been engaged in. You are a critical pillar in ensuring, I mean your office, in ensuring the synergy that is required for the implementation of the social protection program, and also the complementarity that is needed for ensuring the successful implementation of the program. Social protection, as we all know, in the Gambia is not new. It has been in existence for quite a while, and players have been too many, but coordination was an issue. So having the National Social Protection Secretariat clearly demonstrates government's will and interest and commitment in ensuring that all social protection interventions are well coordinated in the country. Your existence says that we mean business as government. Mr. Bara, thank you very much also for spearheading a process that led to the establishment of the social registry, a platform that provides a myriad of data on people, their way of life. The platform creates an opportunity for a merger with other existing databases. It gives an opportunity also for providing data, particularly data that is collected in our various statistical or periodic statistical inquiries. This, I believe, would save us a lot of money. We want to do an America where, with a click of a mouse, you can get everything about a person. This is what we want. I know the discussions are on. Our partners are discussing the possibility of merging the social registry and the vital statistics and the civil registration system, which I think would really provide us the opportunity to bring about data synergy in the country, and also for efficiency in terms of data dissemination, and also providing the required data for policy, to inform policy and also decision making. With that, Mr. Bara, I thank you once again for the overview that you have provided. Now I would want to invite the UN resident coordinator to deliver a statement on behalf of the donor partners.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, the Governor of West Coast Region, member of the National Assembly here present, representatives of Development Partners Group here present, the UN family members and colleagues, media houses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. On behalf of the United Nations in the Gambia, I'm pleased to join you on this auspicious National Social Protection Forum. Allow me to express my gratitude to the government of the Gambia and the National Social Protection Secretariat on the implementation of the 7th National Social Protection Forum. The United Nations in the Gambia is pleased to be part of this forum, which will generate a thorough reflection and discussion on the way forward for an inclusive and rights-based social protection system in the Gambia. The Social Protection Forum, organized during the coming 2 days here in the Gambia, as the head of the Social Protection Secretariat mentions, is done under the leadership of the government. And we commend the government for this leadership. And we are here to support you on this important agenda. And it's also a commitment towards integrated and protection framework in the line with the national development blueprints, and also the UN Development Assistance Framework, and all best practices in social protection in this region and elsewhere. The need for a robust and adaptive social protection has been brought to us by the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic and other shocks have highlighted the relevance, but also the bottlenecks and shortfalls in current national social protection efforts. Let me quickly commend the government of the Gambia for the unprecedented social protection response programs as a result of the pandemic, the climate-related shocks, and the promotion of food and nutrition security, as well as support to the labor force and market. You have demonstrated your readiness to respond to shocks. And these shocks remind us all that social protection must be designed to address the underlying, the historical, and new drivers of poverty, including urban poverty and other forms of vulnerabilities, with a particular focus on institutional strengthening and sustainable financing of social safety nets. Your Excellency, the Vice President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the United Nations attached significant importance to social protection, and as such has dedicated outcome 2.4 of our United Nations Development Assistance Framework to social protection. The UNDAF promotes a standardized and integrated system in the implementation of the social protection policy in the Gambia through scaling up technical, financial, and advocacy support to the government. And in addition, the UN supports government, civil society, and community-based social protection providers, such as credit unions, local financial associations, community child protection committees, to ensure they are strengthened to advocate, inform, educate, and drive the social protection agenda, and support policy planning and legislation for decision-making. The United Nations in the Gambia, through its specialized agencies, funds, and programs, have provided support towards building and developing a sustainable social protection system that will respond to both development and humanitarian crises and reduce vulnerability among extreme poor families. Thus, we have UNICEF, UNDP, and the World Food Programme working alongside the World Bank and European Union, and are currently supporting the review of the social protection policy, promoting legislation development, setting up social registry infrastructure, and training of key government and civil society organization partners on cash transfers, strengthening the coordination mechanism through the National Social Protection Steering Committee, and supporting the upcoming national cash transfer mechanism for harmonization of all cash transfer tools in the Gambia. Your Excellency, the Vice President, this forum represents an opportunity for multi-stakeholder collaborations through the thematic discussions that will take place for the rest of the day and tomorrow. In the Gambia, the current social protection mechanism is characterized by limited access, fragmented initiatives, and non-inclusive and unsustainable social protection services, resulting to less than optimal service satisfaction, particularly for rural populations. While services generally provide important support to the poor and vulnerable groups, the majority of interventions are short-term and emergency-oriented with limited reach. In view of strengthening the UN delivering as one approach to work more harmoniously and collaboratively together, the UN system in the Gambia, while following the global norms and principles, responds to specific national development needs of the Gambia through the United Nations Development Assistance Framework, now renowned as Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework. And together, we must deliberately focus on building systems for a sustainable social protection program. And to be specific, the UN will over the coming years support in the following areas: strengthening the social protection coordination, policy and legislative framework, and institutional capacity development through the National Social Protection Secretariat and Steering Committee. Strengthening the national ownership of the school feeding program. Ensure the existence of a functional national social registry, and promote shock-responsive social protection and humanitarian assistance during shocks, and support prevention and treatment of stunting and wasting, mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on businesses and workers, provide child-sensitive social protection programs, and facilitate the development of the social protection policy. I'm glad that the United Nations continues to work closely with the government and all stakeholders in ensuring that the SDGs serve as a platform for future development alongside the National Development Plan, the National Social Protection Policy, and the UN Development Framework. As you are aware, we all have less than 10 years left to measure our achievements toward the global goals by the 2030 deadline, and the time is of the essence. The United Nations remains committed to support the government and the people of the Gambia in their efforts to transform the Gambia to a state that provides robust social protection services to her population. Our appreciation goes again to Her Excellency the Vice President and her team for the leadership and commitment to the social protection agenda. I also extend our appreciation to all development partners who are supporting this noble agenda, and we hope that by 2030, the Gambia will be on track on social protection. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Arsi, for those remarks. Through you, I want to thank the entire UN system, the World Bank, for supporting the Gambia's National Social Protection Program. And I would also want to thank UNDP for spearheading or facilitating the forum that gives us the opportunity to have or discuss social protection related issues. You have been there for us for quite a while. I could remember seeing social protection as a pillar in the UNDAF. That's not now, that was some years back. Let me thank you for flagging the need for Gambia to come up with a comprehensive program on social protection. Let me also thank you for the pledges that you have made to ensure or to strengthen the social protection system, and also to reach out to a larger population of the very vulnerable people in the country. With that, I think we have now reached the climax of session 1 of this forum. High Excellency, the Vice President, would now be given the opportunity to deliver the opening statement on behalf of the Gambia government. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Ministers here present, Permanent Secretaries, the UN Resident Coordinator, representatives of UN agencies, regional governors, chief executive officers, heads of government departments and agencies, the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols respectfully and duly observed. I am indeed pleased to be given the privilege and honor to preside over the National Social Protection Forum with a theme, Social Protection, a Mechanism for Inclusive Development. I am indeed humbled by the privilege of providing the leadership and guidance in the implementation of all social protection-related efforts in the country. This year's forum will provide a platform for the state and non-state actors in the social protection discourse, including development partners, civil society, and beneficiary groups to dialogue and exchange knowledge and experiences around the theme and other concrete social protection policy matters. The forum will also serve as a platform where government can report progress made and challenges faced in the implementation of the National Social Protection Policy 2015 to 2025. The government of the Gambia is committed to establish an inclusive, integrated, and comprehensive social protection system that will effectively provide preventive, promotive, protective, and transformative measures to safeguard the lives of all poor and vulnerable groups and contribute to broader human development, greater economic productivity, and inclusive growth. As such, government established the National Social Protection Secretariat to support the National Social Protection Steering Committee, which is the apex body for social protection in this country, to coordinate, harmonize, and monitor all social protection interventions in the country. Regular convergences are needed, such as this forum, in order to discuss and take stock of what actually had happened, the gaps and charts a way forward. Chairperson, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to facilitate the coordination of our social protection-related programs, the Secretariat, with the support from World Bank and other development partners, is developing the Gambia's first ever social registry system that will hold socioeconomic information of people living in this country, the social protection interventions, the partners in social protection sector, etc., in order to improve and strengthen the coordination, access to vulnerable data for targeting, and to avoid duplication of efforts. Let's leverage on this convergence to look inwardly as government, individuals, society, and partners to take stock of what we have delivered so far, the mechanism of the delivery, the impact of our interventions, but importantly, what more or different we can do to alleviate human suffering, especially among vulnerable populations. Today, as day one of the forum, will be an opportunity for government, development partners, civil society, and beneficiaries to interface and discuss with frankness and genuine passion towards the social protection agenda and delivery system. Your interface will climax with a call to action paper. The technicians and professionals will discuss objectively issues of fundamental importance to social protection and together work on achieving those recommendations. I look forward to receive this paper, through which, as a government, we will reaffirm our commitment, and I am very much convinced our esteemed partners shall be with us in the drive. Tomorrow will be the climax for this forum with a unique session on panel discussions. With panelists from the government and development partners, we'll again have an opportunity to discuss the pathway and vision of social protection in the Gambia. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of the Gambia, under the leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, has deliberately prioritized social protection mechanisms and safety nets since the advent of his government. To facilitate and reinforce the identified coordination mechanism to ensure inclusion into social protection initiatives, improvement of information system, and provide better coordination and synergy of various sectoral interventions, the social registry platform is being established. The Gambia government recognizes that the current system suffers a range of deficiencies related to scope, coverage, and financing, as well as institutional weaknesses, both in design and delivery. To this end, my government acknowledges that the social protection system requires modernization and expansion in order to provide a more reliable and effective protection from multifaceted shocks and to build people's resilience to adversity and hardship. Therefore, accelerated coordination mechanism and implementation reforms are quite needed. And it is expected that the Gambia will have a modern social protection system in place and will thereby be able to offer more predictable, reliable, and sustainable support that contributes to poverty reduction and builds long-term resilience to risk. In so doing, the NSPS will coordinate all the activities, especially in relation to activities that would bring about change in social protection issues in the Gambia. Esteemed committee members, the government of the Gambia, through the National Social Protection Secretariat, will house the first ever Gambia Social Registry. The Social Registry data nourish a database of households. The Gambia Social Registry will provide the much needed information on demographic, socioeconomic, and disability available. The registry would provide robust data on key household characteristics to facilitate common assessment and eligibility determination for social assistance programs. Decision makers and coordinating bodies such as the National Social Protection Steering Committee, NSPSC, will make informed decisions on the sectors using this registry. Therefore, my office would like to call on all development partners, CBOs, MDAs, to recognize this initiative and neatly fit in to support the agenda. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the GAM-SR, that is the Gambia Social Registry data collection, will go alongside a public information campaign. The public information campaign outlines a conceptual structure that provides direction and guides action on creating awareness about the Gambia Social Registry. My office would like to emphasize the importance of giving accurate, factual, and reliable information during these processes. Also, confidentiality is very important. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to note that the government is aware of all the efforts you, the stakeholders, contributed towards building a sustainable and responsive social protection system in the Gambia. To conclude, I would like to personally acknowledge the hard work and commitment that has gone into making this event a success, especially the role of the National Social Protection Secretariat. They have done a lot, and they have been very, very resilient in responding to the calls and issues raised during the setting up of this secretariat. I want to thank you very much for your professionalism and understanding. It is a great sign of leadership, and I am very hopeful that this social protection mechanism is going to stay and will serve all of us. In addition, I would like to acknowledge the technical and financial contribution from UNICEF and the World Food Programme in this year's forum. I would also like to thank all other partners, including the World Bank, EU, and UNDP for their support. I wish you all a successful deliberation in this forum and now declare the occasion open. I thank you for your kind attention.
Love like fire. Wow. Love like fire. Xam ngeen rek affaire bi xam ngeen fan la skincare la 2020 lañ wax de waaw fii nag mooy Kerr fan Kerr zero tache perfect skincare saa su ne rek niñ ko dee defee rek loo lañ soxlaati rek maanaam bu dee da nga am problème ci seen skin yéen xam ngeen fan la fii ngeen di ñëw suma xarit yeeg am di jàmm yi nga xam ne taas daf lañ sonaloon xam nga doon xeesal bel laka xum éneew ma lañ ko nag waaye just in case comme ni ko gars yi defee rek en cas just in case loolu xew xam ngeen fi ngeen di ñëw skincare plus si yu baax rek la ñoo dox nag ay baax rek fu ne la ñoo dem ci réew mi di lañ indi rek nag products yu baax du Paris du Italie du USA du fi mu nekk nii sax boole nañ ci nag Sweden fu nekk lañ leen a indilee products bu dee tamit nag da nga ñuul rek ñu lay jamaa natural beauty that melanin dripping we do have stuff for you as well emuñ si skincare products rek ñu ngi ci cuub yi tamit fu ne la ñoo jaar in fact sax last commercial bi ñu defoon waxuñ leen woon ne dañoo dox ci ay kawar 9A grade rek nag waaw we do have bundles as well hair si lu ne la ñoo dox ñun ñu ngi ci rafetal jigéen rek luy taaral jigéen rek waaw boo leen di tukki tamit bëggoon rek classic suitcase ñu dañoo dox ci ay Samsonite duñ dee indi any brand of suitcases though other than Samsonite comme li ma dee wax rek boo eggee airport diri Samsonite dafa am nuñ laa xoolee waaw ngeen ne lan nag waaw skin ci moom la ñu gën a xamee nag skin care products ci moom la ñu gën a xamee ñu ngi dox tamit benn tey tamit si ay dàlla man waaye man nag skin care mooy suma specialty xam nga rek jigéen bu sa xar kanam réglé loo def mu jag am nañ Patricia Reiner Kiwi Eye the whole range Lighten Up Gold Tomatine I mean the list can just go on and on and on and on lépp loo xam ne rek luy taaral jigéen la ci yooyu rek la ñoo dox skin care plus nag emuñ si Gambia rek ñu ngi United States ñu ngi Gambia fii ba pare bu dee yaa ngi anywhere in Europe mun nañ la ko mail within 3 days rek ñetti fan rek nga jot say diw emuñ si loolu rek dañ laa consult tamit balaa ñu laa jaay diw dinañ def a free consultation pour wax la rek exactly li nga xam ne moo méngoo ak sa kanam dinañ leen wax tamit ne rek am nañ perfumes fragrances men's shirts accessories we do dresses as well we do blouses I mean we do shoes name it we do them Skincare Plus 2020 is our year of perfection zero task fi mu nekk nii réew mi fii kenn waratu fi task kenn waratu fi am problème kanam kenn waratu fi am problème yu picca boo ko amee dafa fekk ne rek ñëwuloo ci place bi fii
love like fire bring my yoboguma love like fire
Agada.
Mbijan aganyani.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyingi.
Okay. What's that?
Nsila ID soto. Ha, sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariaka.
Ha,
mbare. Mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Ha. Birim koyna fo kato
bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong labe
56 branches mola sota Gambia ja
ha
Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol nka kodo kiya bele kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta même na kodi to poto ni kodi maraw jannom number 1 ti nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi mani domorol dir fana beteata Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je
wo moyo diat
apelenta
baraka ni na lafta nyelan kendol e bina
yalo bu kanila ko la baraka ba
yalo ndel ciosano lo
baraka
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery. Gone are the days of sending loved ones outside the country for basic medical services. Innovarex Global Health offers a new peace of mind and takes pride in delivering the quality of care we all deserve.